I prefer to use these attacks as lessons. This is, the student or the teacher appears when the student is ready. And so this is nothing more than a classroom to learn how life really works. So it's, I'm going to say it all the time, remain calm and remain loving. There's always something good in what you perceive to be something that's bad. Now, all of this, what feels like negative attacks is also a good opportunity to learn a few things. One in particular, I won't mention names because there's no point in picking on one particular person. That's not the point. The point is the behavior. The point is the mindset. And there is this one guy that he was like really, really, really abusive, but didn't see how abusive he really was. And he was threatening my channel, used the word anthrax even, but used it in a way that it was a trick on words. Definitely used the negative language. I'm pretty sure, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure in his posts there was the word fucking cunt and nuts and crazy, which meant that I didn't even bother reading his shit. Like as soon as I seen the negative, it was like, don't even read it. So if he had any messages to send, he should know that it wasn't even read. Nobody's even reading anything that he's saying because it's pointless. It's useless. There's no point being made. But I will make the observation of what exactly this guy's, where his mindset really is coming from. And he ended up mailing me this psychological theory, which he's basing his whole friggin' life on, which I'm saying, the medical world has been screwing people's minds up for a long time. So this is an opportunity for us to explore some of these therapeutic philosophies. And I won't name it, I'll just give you the gist of it, because I've seen this behavior. Every one of my abusers has the same mentality. They are living by that same philosophy, which is definitely taught to your counselors, to your therapists. This is what they brainwash you into behaving like. And then you wonder why you have these behavioral problems. It's because your medical world has trained you to be this way. But here's how it goes. This guy's concept is that if you're scared of something, then you should experience more and more and more and more of what you fear, and then somehow you'll overcome it. Now, my father had that same mentality that I was in a car accident when I was a really young kid, so I then developed a really, really bad passenger I am the worst passenger driver because I can't anticipate what the driver's going to do, how safe he's going to be, and then you got a whole pile of other people driving and I don't know where their mindset is. So unless I'm in the car driving, I don't trust other drivers. So I do have a driving phobia, passenger driving phobia, but my father would always drive like a friggin' maniac, just thinking that I would snap out of it one day, that, we didn't get in an accident, see, there was nothing to fear. And then I ended up marrying a very abusive man that had the same mentality and drove exactly the same way. I'm telling you that these people push the line just to prove a point. I mean, we are so lucky that a lot of people didn't get killed by these two people that wanted to drive as recklessly as possible just to prove I had nothing to fear. And all that did is made me even more scared of other people's driving, because I can see they're fucking dealing with insanity. To put your life at risk to prove a point and put the lives of other drivers on a highway at risk just to prove your freaking point of trying to get somebody to have as as much fear as possible. And this unfolds in a lot of different ways, that they will beat you. They will be negative name calling. It comes threatening, and all of the actions that they're doing, they can't really see that it's very, very abusive. They think that they're doing a good thing by, doing as much harm to a person to prove a point. They don't really recognize that the actions of trying to prove the point is more abusive than the point that they're trying to make. I don't know if you can wrap your brain around that one. But anyways, the conversation had gone on with this guy. I'd seen some posts where he's actually saying to other people that he's trying to diffuse the argument. And I am, my ego won't prevent me from snapping out of it. and basically, what this guy was trying to do is be as abusive as possible, hoping one day I'll find the peace in it, and I do know that he said that, I don't know, eventually he did calm down quite a bit, and we had a conversation yesterday. And before I get into that, he did say that I had an ego problem, and that I was mentioning his own ego, and he says, yeah, your ego has met my match, and that's basically what it is that you have to speak the same language of who it is you're trying to communicate with. Now, if this guy has a massive, massive ego, in order to communicate with him, I have to have a massive, massive ego and see who wins. And it'll be it's not even a matter of who wins. I've already won because this guy's really, really angry, and I'm not. You're the winner right away, as long as you don't get caught up in the anger, frustration mode, which I didn't. So it's like I'm a winner already because it didn't affect me at all. Meanwhile, these guys are really, really angry. And, they think that they're winning by being angry. And it's like, look at your own life. Your anger is going to cause you health problems. Your anger is going to make you look bad. Your anger is going to lead you in the wrong direction at all times. So I don't see where you're ever going to figure out that you've won anything by being so angry. But you're giving me an awful lot to talk about. Which is, that's what this channel is all about, is, how do we deal with this kind of bullshit, and what lessons can we learn from it? So anyways, we had a nice little conversation, and he was explaining to me that a lot of people have this victim mentality, and they'll see things that don't really exist. And I responded that, yes, typically when an abuser doesn't want to admit that they are abusive, they think that victims see things that aren't really there. But actually, these people that say stuff like that, actually want war, and they attract war. And he did also mention that his channel gets attacked all the time. So his behavior is attracting people attacking him all the time, and he's not seeing what he's putting out there. He's not seeing that he is doing everything to attract a war, but he doesn't want to hold responsibility for that, and thinks everybody else that's attacking him is just paranoid. And so I had made the comment that, you attract what it is that you want to experience. You have to take responsibility for that. And then his response was really, really angry. He says, you keep attacking me. And he said, and then the, fuck you, I give up. And it's like, wait a minute. Are you not paranoid? Because I'm not attacking you. I'm just stating a fact. This is science. We all do it. And, we were having a friendly conversation, but yet he feels that I was attacking him by just pointing out some realities, that if I was wrong, just come back. You already know that I don't want to attack you. You already know that, hey, let's be friends. But to be friends means we're not going to get rid of some realities here. We're going to talk about the truth. If you can't handle the truth, that's not really my business. So the next comment that I made to him was, wait a minute, are you paranoid? You just accused me of being a victim paranoid, and yet you just showed the same behavior that you thought, you assumed I was attacking you, which I wasn't attacking at all. I was just talking about science, that we do attract our own wars and you can't see it. And, so he was being paranoid, thought that he was being attacked when he really wasn't being attacked at all. And he's stuck in his own friggin' wars because he doesn't see what he should be seeing. That there are no, I don't know, it was pretty interesting that if you feel that you can be as abusive as possible and think that the victims are just paranoid and aren't really seeing something, you might want to step back and see how abusive you really are. Because, if somebody's saying, hey, you're kind of a little abusive there, maybe reflect on, how could I be abusive? How could they be right? Because the only way we're going to gain any form of sanity in the future is you got to admit that you're wrong. I admit I could be wrong. That is my whole basis of my channel, is you're going to go crazy if you think you know it all, and you don't. It's only through open communication that flows back and forth that you end up getting good conversations. When somebody is really, really rageful and angry, you won't access good information at all. So you aren't even exchanging. There is no conversation because I'm not reading anything that's negative, because I know that it's pointless. It's like when you can be peaceful and don't use negative type words, demeaning words, then at least if you have a point, I'll read it. And, I won't come back at you with the name calling or anything. I can do it. So when we start having that level of conversation, then we start exchanging truthful information. But when it's dealing with anger, it's like they're completely out of control in their own, they call me I'm in my own delusion, but we're all in our own delusions. It's a matter of what kind of delusion do you want to have. Do you want a delusion where your world is all negative and angry and you only get yourself? Because that will cause a lot of stress in your own life. And I am not dealing with any stress whatsoever. This is not affecting me in a negative way in any way, shape, or form. It's just providing me with more and more things to talk about, of how to deal with this level of abuse, how to not let this level of abuse affect your life, how to remain calm and loving and access good information and use every bad opportunity, use it for your favor. Make it work for you. Anything that's bad can actually be your best gift if you can be in a loving state, if you can be, and not want to do another person harm. There's no way that I want to do any of these people harm. It's not my intention whatsoever. We're all friggin' a little crazy right now. So it's not like I'm picking on any one group. It's a matter of we need to just learn different lessons. And that's what my channel is all about. So, don't be discouraged by seeing negative bullshit. It's really, really easy to have a nice, pleasant channel where everybody's nice and loving, but let's face it, that's not the way the world is. And what we really want to do is learn how to deal with the bullshit in the world. So, isn't it best to have a little bit of bullshit show up so we have something to learn from? How do we deal with it when it shows up? So it's like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to my channel, is to have a lot of this bullshit come up so we can sort of reflect and say, okay, what are the lessons here? How can I improve my own life when I see bullshit in my life like this? So it's all a good thing. Peace out.